What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. It is, I almost said Apocalypse Movies. It is not Apocalypse Movies.
Mm-hmm.
It is a certain point of view, everybody. I hope everyone's doing great out there. I apologize if I'm looking down for most of the show or directly to the camera because I'm on a different computer right now and it's two gigantic eye levels. So
Our
it's
eyes
not
are
like
up here, Jake.
I'm literally looking at you guys right now, but it doesn't look like I'm looking at you guys.
Jake is poor guy is currently conducting the Hot Mess Express right now.
It's wild. It's wild today. My Monday was crazy. I hope everyone else's Monday is doing great out there. I'm just gonna get the crew because I want to hear how their great days were. Jill, how was your Monday today?
Monday, no complaints. Pretty chill Monday. It's a big. It's a thing called DM meeting at my company. So all the district managers across the country are all in Utah right now, which makes my life very slow because no one's in the office. Yeah. Oh wow, Andy. So pretty easy week for me in terms of that. So my Monday was chill. I watched Holes. Love that movie.
The movie's 19 years old.
It's so good. It's still so good. Made myself some spam musubi for lunch. So yeah, got a White Claw. Pretty solid Monday. No complaints.
That's good. That's good. Mr. Brian, I see you're still abroad.
Mm-hmm. I'm like kind of vibing in the Bay Area right now. I'm like kind of not wanting to leave.
Vibing.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Andy. Yes, I did get a tattoo. So now Jill's the only one left. Now we have to
listen
into getting one.
Listen. Getting one. Just need to make the appointment.
That's fair. Yeah. Just chilling. Not really doing anything. Took a nap today. That's pretty much.
Well, you're on summer break, so
yeah, I forgot until like today that you were on summer break. Like it just registered to me. I was like, oh, Brian's like on break.
Yeah, I've definitely hit the point of what day is it? Like I was
hashtag.
Yeah, I was certain today was Tuesday, and I got really excited because I was like, yes, Obi-Wan's coming out at midnight. Nope, it's Monday. Yeah, just chilling. Nothing too crazy. I get to be in air conditioning for free. That's the best part. That's pretty much what I do.
Crank it.
I know. So yeah, just chilling.
Yeah.
And Molly?
Pretty chill Monday on my end too. We're still playing catch up after Celebration. Just
aren't we all?
Getting all of our Kenobi coverage. We recorded a audio commentary for the first episode today, which it was nice to rewatch the first episode. I'm just really digging it. It's a good time. But we are also getting ready to go to another convention this weekend. We leave on Thursday, so we're gonna.
We're all crazy.
We're going to GCX.
It's in Atlanta, though, right? Or no?
No, it's in Orlando, but we can drive there, which is nice. It's like a 7-hour drive, not too bad.
Is it the one where aren't you going to Disney World?
We're going to. So we were going to go to Disney World, but because we just did Disney at Celebration, we're going to do Universal and Islands of Adventure. So we'll do Harry Potter.
Islands of Adventure is so much fun.
It's so fun. I haven't been in a few years, and they've got a bunch of new rides that I've never ridden. So
have you been to Hogsmeade since it's opened?
No.
It's so.
I haven't been to it. My parents. Well,
what is that? Wait, is that like the restaurant? So
there's like Harry Potter.
It's
like
Diagon Alley and Hogsmeade.
Yeah.
There's one in each park.
Oh, okay.
Diagon Alley is actually the newer one.
Yeah. So there's the one that is just like the normal, which is like the castle and like just that. And then the other one is Hogsmeade. What Jill said, where
Diagon Alley.
Like Diagon Alley, Gringotts, the bank, and all that stuff. I will never forgive my dad for my graduation present. I don't know. They took us to Universal and they booked the vacation the week before Hogsmeade opened.
Oh, bummer.
So like, Diagon Alley opened. And so I'm just sitting there like looking through the fence, like Must be nice. Must be nice. Oh, hi, Frank.
I was going to say, I don't know if Frank is trying to give us shade, but keep moving forward is actually what my tattoo is going to be. So you can.
There was 2 meanings behind it. Double meaning.
Meaning. So get out, Frankie. Who invited you?
I'm just keep the normal intro. I'm going to pop out for like 5 seconds.
Oh, did you get it to work?
My computer's working. So.
Yay. So we can still talk and do nonsense.
Cool. So I can still tell Frankie to get lost.
Yeah, what was this guy doing being the post-interviewer? That's not allowed.
Right? That's my job.
This guy.
What is this nonsense? That's probably I had COVID when that was filmed. I think I did actually. Probably. I think I did have COVID when that was filmed.
They should have just done like one of those like robot or just like a stand with your face on it while you're with COVID and be like.
They should have a cardboard out of me and Frankie in the back trying to do my voice. It'd be great.
They could have FaceTimed you in.
Right.
To do the interview.
Rude.
Which one to stand?
Rude.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Frankie, no one asked you.
I dislike every video, only the ones Jill is on.
Which is all.
So that's all of them.
So.
Guess what, Frank? YouTube doesn't care for likes or dislikes. It's all engagement.
Hey, perfect. Engage me.
Thanks, Frank. Love you.
Engage me. Engage me, Frank.
John Booth, you're right. Sorry, go ahead, Jill. Molly. I was gonna say
the Nintendo Land is gonna open.
I can't.
Oh, that's only in the LA one though.
No, now you need to come visit.
Yep.
Dang it. I don't know. We're only gonna be there for like a day and a half, so we're gonna try to do Islands of Adventure, Harry Potter stuff in one day, and then
oh my god, good luck
the next day.
Hi, tell Frankie to shove it.
You still need to
shove it.
Thank you.
There we go. You should, if you're doing both of them, you should try to ride the train between the two parks.
Yeah, we're going to. And
it's so fun.
We're gonna pay for whatever the express thing is to try to skip the lines for.
Yeah, it'll be worth it because you're going in June.
Yeah,
it'll totally be worth it.
We are going on a Monday though, so I'm hoping it's not as busy.
Oh, it won't be as bad, but still, it's always good
it's summer though.
Yeah. Oh, it felt so
I'll
nice.
fight some kids. I'll fight some kids all day.
I'll punch a child.
You should get some Slytherin stuff.
Oh yeah.
You don't really have any Harry Potter stuff, do
you? Come to think of it, I don't think I do.
I'm gonna get you some robes. Gonna get you some big Slytherin robes to wear.
Oh yeah, we can buy all kinds of stuff because we're driving and we don't have to check any bags.
You gotta pack. You gotta pack, but you don't gotta. Yeah.
Did we ever establish what house Alex is in? Ravenclaw?
He's totally a Ravenclaw.
I think he is. I don't know that he's ever taken the test, like the official test, but I would totally guess Ravenclaw.
Yeah, I feel like he's kind of tried and true, right? What that is. So, yeah. How long does it take for Jake to switch computers? God. His computer was right in front of him.
I just get to drink my White Claw.
What kind I was going to ask you what kind you're drinking. Are you drinking an iced tea one?
I had black cherry earlier or blackberry earlier. Now it's mango. There he is. Get me out of this box. I don't want to be in this box. Thank you.
My computer froze as soon as I started StreamYard.
Oh, nice. And now you need to switch the microphones too.
Switch your mics.
Hot Mess Express.
Monday, freaking deal. Mondays are the real deal. I had to change my password twice to even get on the computer. I don't know. Anyway, what are you guys talking about? How's everyone doing?
Harry Potter.
Fair enough. Okay.
And how much was it, Frankie?
Yeah. Because Molly's going to Orlando.
Oh, yeah. I was there for that for a little bit anyway. Okay, well, should we start talking about some Schmoedown?
I guess,
yeah.
Sure.
It's not a 30-minute intro like last week, but that's okay.
We had celebration to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we could have just kept going on that. We should didn't even think about celebration.
We're saving that for happy hour.
Do we have a date for that yet?
No, we don't.
We'll announce something this week because we usually figure it out within like an hour. If we actually
Molly is much more busy than I, so
I think this weekend is the last thing I've got solidly booked.
All right. So,
lady, you better knock on wood Sunday before they drop a Disney show or Star Wars something that you're gonna get Stop doing.
I do have like 3 books I need to read, but
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, Schmoedown. So,
Right.
latest episode of Friday Night Titans is here, and we got 2 teams matches this past week. 2 brand new teams to start up, and then 2 formerly brand new teams to finish off with the main event. We also have one cutscene. There's a couple cutscenes, but we have one specific cutscene to talk about that got a little cringy at certain moments in time toward the end of that FNT. And so I say we just start with the undercard match of last week's Friday Night Titans. We had 2 brand new teams, and one was teased last week. We have Rachel Silvestrini and Moose Haas, and then we have the return of Beth May and Rick Hong, which is really, really cool. Formerly Second Tom to Video Drew a couple seasons ago.
Other Tom.
And their team name was Pure Energy. Worked out perfectly because Beth May would not stop moving the entire time. She just looked like she was on like 1,000 energy drinks. And then you have the next chapter in Rachel Silvestrini and Moose Haas, who came away with the W, played very, very strong, and could have some very good potential as a team that I kind of want to dive into a little bit after we talk about the match. So, Molly, I'll start with you. What did you think about this undercard match with these 2?
this one was a lot of fun. And you're right. I need to know what kind of energy drink Beth May was having that day, because I need several of them next time I do a convention. But they played really well, and they looked like they were having a lot of fun. Rachel and Moose played excellent. I think Moose had a perfect game.
First round.
Or perfect first round, yeah. So very impressive all around. And just it's nice to see some new teams playing. And by the time it was over, they were like hugging and just looked like a lot of fun.
Well, in the teams division is out of the 3 main ones that are live on the channel, or not live, but on the channel. The teams was the one that was kind of most up in the air because there was 2 returning teams going into the season in Corruption and Shazam. And so it was essentially a full restart. And so to get more of these new teams playing with players that we haven't seen as well, like we saw Rachel once last year, we saw Moose early on in the year. We haven't seen Rick Hong in a while. It's cool to see these new players come back and kind of, and again, this was also both Moose and Beth May's first time in studio playing, and their energy is great. Like they look great. They adapted very well. Obviously, Beth May was always going to adapt, but Moose fits in very well, and he's very talented when it comes to trivia. So I thought it was a lot of fun. We also got one of the most hilarious wrong answers.
Oh my god, I was about to bring Schindler's List up because I vividly remember that, and I burst out laughing. I almost spit out my drink.
I understand why it popped in her head, why it was there because of the question, but comedy Schindler's List?
Was that the Phil Collins one?
Yeah.
Phil Collins' famous performance in Schindler's List.
That was so funny, though. She didn't do, that wasn't, anything other than just comedy. I was like, oh my god.
Everyone's reaction was just...
No one had a straight face.
No. They were like, hook.
It was so funny. So funny.
Those are the moments that I live for in the Schmoedown, when something like that happens, and even the strictest of character actors will break, and they just have to laugh at something.
Like with that one, it was very similar to Gold Leaders Repeat the Question with who directed the George Lucas one. It was very similar to that, where it was just like, what? What are you doing? It's great.
That was funny. This match was so fun. You could tell everyone was having a good time. That was easy to tell. And then I would say that Moose and Rachel probably were taking it a little bit more seriously. They definitely wanted to win, but not to the they weren't a serious trying to think of who's like a super no fun.
Paul Oyama.
Okay, that's
no. Paul's kind of
yes, but he takes the game very serious.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
so like Adam and Paul, like they're definitely there to win and play and stuff like that. I love the Moose and Switchblade team.
I went on to Amazon and I bought that little travel shot glass that she
Rachel
pulled out.
had.
Yeah, I was
Oh
like, I
my
have to have
God.
that.
They're a good balance of opposites, I think, with similarities, but when one doesn't know one, the other might have it. So like, I don't know if Moose is big on like rom-coms, but I would assume Rachel's not going to be like great on inner geekdom type stuff that he can do. So like, it's a very interesting filler of gaps between the two of them that I'm very curious to see moving forward.
Well, Moose definitely. I mean, he played in Inner Geekdom, so he knows the Inner Geekdom division pretty well.
Yeah,
and we've seen him steamroll. I want to say we've seen him steamroll something like Lord of the Rings before, which I'm sure Rachel knows, but not to that extent. And we've also been told that Moose is quite big on Star Wars, which is probably something that Rachel knows, but doesn't know to like a deeper level. So if you do have that, that's a big plus. And we know what Rachel's strengths are. It's Disney and Kevin Smith. And if you can build around that, like, that's a pretty killer team, because there's not a lot of people that can be absolutely excellent at something like Kevin Smith and Disney, because those are two very tough categories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was, I don't know what answer or what question it was, but Moose answered like within the second of it being asked. And it was like in the third, I think it might have been in the third round. But you can tell that they're both been itching to play.
Mm-hmm.
And they're taking it serious, but they know like what it is and like how to have fun with it and to not take things so hard sometimes. But they're also, Moose is only like a year old in the league, but he still very much feels like a veteran.
Yeah.
And Rachel's been around for a long time. So it's good to see her get someone who we could potentially see be a nice team up for her, and someone that could be much different than the teammates that she's had in the past.
I think also with them, like, there have been partners that Rachel has had that, like, I feel like maybe the stress of like making sure you don't mess up and screw up their chances, like, I think that was bigger. Whereas Moose is not like a, damn it, she missed it, like like that type. He does not strike me.
Time.
Yeah. So, and then Beth May and Rick Hahn were freaking hilarious. I imagine she was like shotgunning Bang energy drinks before she walked out.
That's what it looked like. I think I watched it on 1.5 times speed a few hours ago, and so she was just like bouncing up and down the whole time.
It was pretty good.
I just painfully wanted her to like sit down.
Okay, I gotta pause real quick because there's a fight going on.
I know, I'm like laughing over here just reading the chat that's going on.
We have Ty Lieberman, we have Eric Chan, who, welcome back, Eric. Haven't seen you on here.
Hi, Eric.
And then Moose just showed up as well. My goodness.
Let's keep it PG in the chat, please.
Yeah.
If there's gonna be a fight,
though.
I at least require VIP service and a cocktail first. So, yeah.
We would like to be wined and dined.
Yeah.
We're gonna be part of this.
I mean, a White Claw's not gonna cut it, guys. Sorry. But
Love it.
this was really fun. I will echo what everyone else has said. Really, really glad we're having Rachel back again, because we saw her once last season, which is stupid. So really glad she's back. Really glad we're getting more of Moose, because he was spectacular last season. And him and Rachel make a really, really fun, dynamic team. Wow.
Stock leftovers. Oh my god, I love that team name.
Wow. I didn't say it. I said nothing.
For our audio listeners, a commenter said, "Damn, the Finstock leftovers aren't too happy with each other."
Wow. Wow.
I'm not going to say that it was a good move to leave, but I'm not going to also say it was a bad thing.
I mean, they seem to be doing just fine without Mr. Finstock. So, and I love. People have been saying in the chat, Beth May is an absolute treasure in this league, and it's always just an absolute treat to have her. Will she ever hold a championship belt in her life? Probably not. But I'm going to enjoy the heck out of every single match she's going to be in because she's just so much fun to watch.
For sure.
I mean, she looks like she could get a real wrestling belt.
Yeah, I would be afraid. Yeah, she doesn't need a trivia belt. She's going to get an MMA belt because she will just bust your face open with her fists. And she's speedy. You can't hit her. She just dodges it. But it was a treat. I'm glad we're getting to see all these players again.
Yeah, it's exciting to see because like the last 2 years, as much as I love the digital age, and I think a lot of people did, if you didn't win, it was hard to come back, right? Because of the way that the league was set up, you know, with the faction system and the point system, tournaments playing a huge part in that. With someone like Beth May, like Jill said, she's never going to be someone that wins a belt, or you know, maybe she gets good enough to where she grows and becomes someone who can contend, but she's going to be someone that is there purely for the entertainment.
She's a Makuga.
Just less keg stands. I mean, I don't know if she does them or not. I don't know.
Have a good time.
You gotta know.
She very well could, but she's 100% there to commit to the bit of what entertainment in the Schmoedown is,
and that's what we need. We need Beth Mays. We need Makugas. We need these fun, just crazy, go lucky. I'm here to have a good time and answer questions, people, and I love that.
Agreed. It was also a perfect pairing to put up against each other before the smack talk chaos that we got in the second match. So, which we'll get to.
It was fun. You always need your occasional pure fun match.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I think Moose and Rachel definitely cared a little bit more than just having fun. Like, you obviously want to go out there and win. But it never got to the point where you were just like, oh my God, like they're taking this serious or something like that. It was all purely fun. And I think even like Mark and Rachel on the desk were having fun with the mix too. And and that makes all the difference when like everyone there is having fun. It's not just 2 of the 6 total people in the filming, if you will.
Yes. And like I feel like most of the new season's games have been fun to watch, and it just looks like people are having more fun. Maybe that's just being in studio again, and you can read people's body language a little bit better. And you know, now that we are a little bit more distanced from the digital matches, people are, I think a lot of players are having more fun with it now. As long as you're, you know, local and can go to the show.
Sorry. Someone else has entered the chat now.
Yo,
oh goodness.
I love it. I love it.
The exchange didn't even play last week, and they're just all coming out of the woodwork.
I love
3
it.
exchange members from 3 exchange rookie members from last season who have all split up this
If you say Dagnino 4 times, he'll appear.
No,
Don't y'all have some studying to do?
No.
Don't y'all have some studying to do?
They must not have anything better to do.
I mean, it's kind of who do we think we know who the next match is probably against? Just a little maybe.
This is an interesting comment. I don't know if he was supposed to say this or if this means what it means, but Beth May is fun to watch both in play and on the desk.
Well, she was on the desk last season.
Yeah.
Oh, she was?
Yeah. She was. She did the exhibition match with Ellis. She did the
the exhibition match.
She
Okay,
was.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Treat.
Well, she does that.
Hi,
Isn't
Peggy.
she on that Dungeons
Peggy.
and Daddies podcast?
Yeah.
Yep.
She's hilarious on that, and
She's
like
so good.
she's very quick witted,
Mhm.
and it's always a good time.
Someone recommended Pure Energy playing Real Rejects, which I think would be great. them playing
Mhm.
Wildberries.
That would be the loudest match in the history of
sorry,
ever.
he also did Stranger Things this year. I don't watch Stranger Things, so I did not watch that match because I would not know what's happening. But it was on the desk for Stranger Things.
I mean, we've got to. I can't be the only one that's thinking a Ty Whitney versus Moose and Rachel is on the horizon.
Oh,
right?
I think Leo might have said it, but they're 100% playing ruling class.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's not been announced, but it fits. It really does.
Yeah, it does. It's
because you have both veterans. You have the veterans in Whitney and Rachel, who were both. They went up against each other, right? It's kind of a rivalry there. Whitney has the up on Rachel, and then you have the former faction mates in Moose and Ty, who are clearly going at it in our chat right now. It's
settle down, children. Settle down.
So,
I think it's too perfect of a match that I would very much like to see.
Well, let's talk about a little bit before we move on the potential of the next chapter. And by the way, great name, love the team name. Out of all these new teams that we've seen, like, do we think they have a legit chance to, I'm not going to say go for a title, but maybe like a number one contender, fight up there near the top end?
Yeah.
And again, we've only seen them one match. It's very slim at the moment. But we had high things to say about the ruling class when Whitney and Ty played together. What do we think about the next chapter?
I think they could definitely
go
get to a contender match. Because, Moose is one, like we've been talking about, Moose is one of those Florida division players who knows about literally anything that could be asked. And then Rachel's really, really great with these niche, categories that not a lot of people know. So I think they really, really fit together. They obviously have really good chemistry with one another. They're having a great time. They're taking shots before the match. So that just talks to my own heart
maybe during.
I don't judge. Drink while you're playing. I would do the same thing if I was playing. So I think we could see them go pretty far in category standing or a standing
ranking.
Thank you. A ranking standing.
A thing with numbers.
Standing. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree. I feel like they play off of each other well. They kind of fill each other's gaps as far as trivia stuff goes. And then Rachel specifically, I've always loved watching her play, but I think she's really sharpening her trivia skills. Because there were a few things that she almost got right. I think one of them was Predator. She just wrote Predator, not the Predator.
I think it was I think that was the very first question in the match.
Was it?
It was one of them.
One of the first.
Yeah.
Ones?
So
yeah,
she's there. She's there, and
I agree.
her and Moose work really well together.
Yeah, like I said earlier, and Jill and Molly, all of us saying it's very interesting team because they do fill each other's blind spots that I would assume very well. There's very few teams that come across that I am just they probably aren't going to do very much. Teams is a whole different monster because you have two brains instead of one, and you don't know what fully combined they're capable of. So, it'd be interesting. It'd be very interesting to see how far they can go.
Yeah, well, if they do in fact play the ruling class next, they're both 1-0, very early on. But with new teams entering the division and only a couple of veteran teams, a 2-0 team can make it to a number one contender match. That's just kind of how it is, and that's how it was back in the day. Everyone who's fighting they shouldn't be there, that's how it was back in the day. You went 2-3-0, you were already in a number one contenders match. So, okay, before we move on, I want to bring up a Streamlabs that we got real quick. Just a nice little quick one here. Nice donation from Brennan Marr. Thank you, Brennan.
Hello.
He says, it was so great to meet Molly and Brian at Celebration. Yeah, sorry, Brennan. I missed you.
It was great to meet you. Finally.
I was in the panel.
I got to see the FCL belt. That was cool.
Yeah. I love the FCL belt. That Star Wars FCL belt is dope.
That's such a cool belt.
I've seen Thomas carry the other one enough.
Ugh, the other one I've seen enough of. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't need that one anymore.
Wow. Yeah, I miss Brennan. I think I may have saw him from afar, but I wasn't able to actually meet him face to face. So next time, Brennan, next time.
That reminds me when we're talking about belts. It'll take me a second to find it, but Thomas brought the belt to one of the big panels, and we found him in the crowd because
Zoom in
his face.
The one where he's sticking his tongue out at him.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was so
I kind of
funny.
wish he had brought the belt to our viewing party because we had everybody there. It would have been fun to have the belt.
With the way he's loosey-goosey with that belt, especially when we were at...
Probably would have left it, or Sean would have put it up on the wall.
Yeah.
There.
He has to hand it off anyway. We could have taken it.
True.
Very fair. All right. Well, while Molly is looking for that, before we get to the second match, there was a nice little cutscene between the matches.
I freaking adored this cutscene.
So we got to see. So look, obviously in the dungeon, everyone has kind of like for lack of a better word, a gimmick. You have Kevin Smets being the Smasher. You have Janine being the Machine. Kaiser is Kaiser, as they said. He's got the hat and the way he talks. The database doesn't really have anything, right? Until now. He had a nice little costume party with the dungeon, trying to fit on some clothes, some costumes, some ideas. Nothing really working until we get the awesome Matrix look that was revealed at the entrance of the match. But what do we think about the cutscene and all the different iterations of costumes they tried? Jill, I'll let you start this one.
I loved this scene, like so freaking much, because it was like it added nothing. Oh,
let me zoom in.
Look at him.
Look at him back there. What a jerk.
Oh, God.
Sorry, audio listeners. I was showing a picture, but it's on Alex's Twitter somewhere.
But it was just so fun because did it add to storyline? No, but it was just so fun and so stupidly silly that like Janine is like, okay, so we all have our own looks, you all have our own shtick, which is true. The dungeon definitely, they each have their very own fashionable shticks that they have. And so they're like, we need to get the database all on top of it. And then the thing that killed me the most was how Smets and Kaiser acted, because that's just how they are, like when they're together. Like with Kevin going, "Where's your glass?" and Kaiser's like, "I drink out of the bottle." Like that's just I don't think that was scripted. I'm pretty sure that was just like, this is what we're doing because this is what we do like 24/7. And it was the most accurate representation of their friendship I think I've ever seen in my life. It was so good. Also, I'm kind of mad that they didn't keep like the Captain America jacket look because I thought that was pretty sharp. I'm going to say I thought that was pretty great.
I liked the fencing outfit.
I was going to say the fencing outfit.
Nice. But also
different.
I need Kevin and Kaiser I need them to have a spin-off like buddy cop movie where it's like half buddy cop movie, half like they're just doing makeovers for people or judging makeovers for people because
they're dressing people in a dressing room.
So like a Queer Eye for with Kaiser and
it's Queer Eye, but with Kaiser and Smets.
Yeah.
But they're not actually really helping anyone. They're just
they're just there to drink and enjoy the free champagne. But I thought it was fun. It was cute. It was silly. Like it gave personality to the faction. Like it really introduced, the database to people. I thought it was fun as heck. I do enjoy the outfit that they chose to stick with the little Matrix moment. But that still a little upset they didn't choose that Captain America jacket with the fancy tie. Like I don't know. I thought that worked, but
Mr. The Database. Wherever you went, I believe you said when you graduated, whatever club that you were in, that they gave that sick of a jacket, like some nice people, because that was
for that club,
right? Exactly. I was like, I need something like that.
And then see, Brian Nussbaum's comment is on point. Extreme Makeover, Dungeon Edition.
Perfect.
Yeah, but I'm very curious about this comment. He said cringy scene.
I didn't think it was cringy in the slightest.
Nussbaum, let us know what you mean, because I'm very curious, because I thought like not every single scene has to be storyline driven. It doesn't. Like it doesn't have something
stupid. I loved it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't need to matter every single time.
not all of these people are professional actors, too.
Yeah.
No.
Some of them are,
That's the truth.
but most of them are just, in the business in other ways or content creators or whatnot. So they're doing their best.
See, Chuck too, not a fan of the outfit, a tad too lazy.
Oof.
What?
Oof. I thought it worked really well with Janine's outfit too. Like
And the
two of them
database.
looked.
It makes sense for Neo to be a database type guy. I mean, he's a freaking superhero, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
One thing that I got out of this.
Brian, there you
even
go.
More,
Here you go, Brian.
Superhero movie.
I founded a superhero movie club, and this was a real gift. I put it on right after graduation.
well, those are some amazing people to gift that, because that was
Facts, Moose. Facts.
Yeah.
Agree.
I forgot what I was gonna say now. Jake.
Sorry,
Oh.
Brian.
Little
I had to
Smets.
make sure you saw it.
His
Smets.
Smets
Oh.
impersonation was great.
No. Oh, now I remember. This again, not that I needed it, just reassures me like Janine is just such in the right place. Like she works so well with Kaiser and Smets. Like it's just, it's like a duh. Like why hasn't this happened earlier? And just the database is perfect with them too. I like a very lighthearted dungeon.
Yeah.
Right
And
now. It's fun.
This one, I also loved the Marvel copyright thing because Kevin going, who do you know at Marvel? And Kaiser going, the receptionist. And Kevin goes like, you're an idiot or something, or like, you're so dumb. Like, it's just so good. It's so good. It's so funny.
Okay, so going from the cutscene to the match, obviously at the end of the match didn't go the system's way. Didn't end up working out for Janine and the database. But what an incredible showing. It's only their second match together, and Paul Preston and JT are no slouches. They're very strong. They're a very strong team, two veterans who've been around for a very, very long time. And it came down to an extremely hard 5-point question for the system with the Steve Martin question, which is like
I
one
was
in.
so excited that I knew.
Oh, you did know that?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I had no idea. I had no clue. I probably would have guessed plane, trains, and automobiles as well. That's probably would have been the exact guess I made.
Just for some reason, I hear that line, maybe because I heard it so many times because they repeated it every time, or they used all their repeats for it. But yeah, I was like, oh yeah, Three Amigos. But
yeah.
So my takeaway from this match, they play 10 times. I think it goes 50-50. Like
I think so too.
This
with JT and Paul.
But yeah, these two teams. Like,
yeah.
I'll put it this way: that match ended, and I went, I think Janine and Database should have won that match. Like, for the level that Paul and JTE are, I mean, this could just be me. I hold JTE to a very high standard.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of have to. The man had the belt for a while. Paul
belt,
is,
yeah.
Yes. Paul is very good. Eric is new. The database, excuse me.
Mr. Database.
How dare you, Brian? How dare you?
I'm sorry. The database is new, and Janine is a vet. Database kind of ran numbers on them, and especially and I know you're in the chat. You can give me, I don't know if you can say or not. I assume that challenge was your idea, and if that was, because I'm sorry, I love Kaiser, but I don't think
the Billy Bob Thornton challenge.
I'm pretty sure in the actual match you can.
I think that was all Kaiser.
I
Was
think
it?
so too.
Yeah,
I don't think they
depends.
had time to like look over.
No,
to check
I
the
think that was
spelling, but
100% Kaiser.
Kaiser was like Hawkeyeing the.
Let's talk about the challenge since we're
Okay.
there. What did everyone think about this challenge? Because this could go either way, to be honest. Like,
I mean,
see?
database says that the challenge was his.
If you watch the video,
All right.
if you watch the video when Janine says her answer, he's like ready to like say challenge, and then he says his and goes, whoa, I want to challenge, like almost immediately.
Okay.
So that's that's where I was going. That is some.
He's the database, guys. Come on.
I know, but that is some quick-witted.
Yeah,
that's Neo shit right there.
And I missed that. That's what I get for watching the matchup.
Won it.
I thought it was 100% Kaiser.
I mean, so here's my thing. Thornton and Thornton is very close to the point where, I mean, I'm a hockey fan, so I grew up with a Sharks player, Joe Thornton. But like, you have people constantly, no, it's Thornton, like back and forth. That one's a little tricky. So like, I kind of leaned more towards that one. Granted, how many other Hollywood people are called Billy Bob? So it's like, exactly.
As a movie character, that's it though.
Exactly. So in that sense,
Billy
but like,
Bob.
I was more impressed, if anything, out of the whole thing, just the like, boom, like challenge. Like I was like, oh, like he knew what he was doing when he did it. So I was very impressed.
Yeah, I thought it was a decent challenge, but for me though, because I compared it to like, because for me, I always forget that it's Thornton. I pronounce it Billy Bob Thornton, like Thorto. I don't pronounce it with an N in there. But so for me, it could just be a spelling thing. But in regards to like Idris Elba, that's two entirely different names. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like this for me, the challenge really could have gone either way. But they sided with Paul, right? That Paul got the point.
Well, Paul spelled it correctly, but JT missed it.
JT lost the point.
Yeah, JT lost the point.
Oh, he lost. So they so they
so the dungeon won. The dungeon won the point.
Okay,
the challenge was good.
And that's why the rest of the match they kept saying like, oh, so I have to spell it correctly the entire match, because JT spells things wrong all the time.
It's I think with actors, it's definitely a lot different than say like planet names or like something that's like super wacky.
That's what I immediately thought of was, as a Star Wars player, I was like, oh, okay, I get that challenge, and I kind of agreed with it. Like we all knew he knew the answer. He knows who Billy Bob Thornton is, but by missing that one letter, it's kind of like it has to be, whatever you say has to be written out on the board, and any discrepancies is gonna make a big difference as far as if you'll get the point or not. Because like with me and Andrew's game with Tiderium versus Tiderian, like just one letter off can get it wrong. So
I mean, we were very nitpicky at the beginning of the year. Like, first off, when I heard him say the benefit of the doubt, I was like, oh no.
I thought benefit of the doubt doesn't exist anymore.
I know.
As soon as he said benefit of the doubt, I went, I don't think that's a thing anymore.
Well, the new rulebook said that when we went over at the beginning of the year that everything had to be correct. Like it had to be, they were looking for exact. And I think that the big difference in this challenge is that if you take that N away, it completely changes that name. Unlike spelling like something wrong, flipping like a like an O for an
Tristanotheratops.
Well, yeah, like an O for an A at some point, right? It's still pronounced the same and still looks the same, but you're just switching a letter because you don't know if it's an A or an O, but it's still phonetically correct. This completely changes the wording from, like Brian said, Thornton to Thornton. Like it's a completely different word at that point if you take that word out, or that letter out, excuse me.
And Mr. Database made a good point earlier. He said in the past, Lena Headley and Slowed Low weren't accepted. Phonetically, it's wrong based on the rule book.
Yeah, if it's one letter off and it changes how it's said out loud, you can't really get past that.
I do appreciate that we got a sassy Adam Witt after that, though, and he was going around literally checking everyone's whiteboards.
It was great. Cut in the middle match real quick. What did everyone think about Kaiser and Witt's toe-to-toe face-off in the beginning?
I mean, this was the first time we saw them in studio together since, like, they became, like, you know, where Witt was kind of taking over the dungeon faction, managing, because Kaiser was doing other stuff. And so it was, it was fun. I don't expect anything less from these two than to turn it into a big crazy.
Did anyone see Adam when kick dirt on Kaiser?
Yeah, I was going like this. Yeah.
Trying to kick dirt.
See, I didn't catch that, but I started laughing when he belly smacked.
It was the chest bump. Yeah.
I was just like, these two goofballs, like, just like I was ready for like a slap fest, not even fight, just like a slap fest. Something like, oh, it was so funny.
So wait, I didn't realize. Did Janine also misspell?
She misspelled it, but there was no ruling against her.
They didn't catch it,
so it didn't matter. But I will say, as far as strategy goes, what Eric just said is, I get that Janine also missed it, but my thinking at the time was that it had cut off JT's perfect round.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to in a lot of matches.
Wow. This is what I'm saying. His gameplay is elite.
That's crazy.
How he's dissecting that's what I loved the most coming out of it. It just seemed so like meticulous, and it was something
would you say it's very calculated, almost like it's from a database?
Wow.
Almost like there's a system that he's got going too.
Poetic.
Okay, I'm stopping this right now. I'm cutting this off right now. Okay, so ultimately through all of it, after a couple great second rounds and even a couple great third round as well, unfortunately, the system takes the L on this one. The movement goes to 2-0, and they're already theorizing and trying to think of who they could possibly be playing next, being that they are, at the moment, the team that kind of everyone is really looking at as the number one contender shot for 2-0 in a year full of a lot of new teams. A lot of people are throwing out the idea that they play coast to coast, even though, or I guess they are 2-0 at this point because they played 2 matches in a row. It seems like we'll be getting a number one contenders match between those two teams, and that winner will go on to fight for the belt, whoever may have the belt, if it is Shazam or someone else at the time. What do we think about the movement and possibly coast to coast fighting it out here in the near future?
Yes, please.
Yeah. I do want to say, while I was rooting for Janine in the database in this one, I do think this is Paul Preston's year. And
I feel like we've been saying that for a long time.
I know.
And we have to also correct ourselves that it's the Paul Preston.
The Paul Preston. It is the Paul Preston.
He's not here. We don't have to say anything because he's not here.
You never know. We say things and people pop out of the woodwork. So
technically it's THE. The Paul Preston. So we're all wrong at that point.
So I am excited that Paul is finally getting, like a push. But if they play coast to coast, I'm sorry. I'm rooting for my fractured faction babies over there on coast to coast.
It's funny though, like I almost kind of feel like they would wipe them clean.
Coast to coast?
Yeah.
Would wipe the movement? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
See, I don't know. I just have this. I don't know.
No.
I think it would come down to whatever they spin.
Yeah.
I just haven't been.
You're not sold on the movement? Really?
No. I don't know why. Like,
so you're not sold on the system?
It was the John Cena.
I'm sold on the system.
They
just beat the system.
I don't think. Honestly.
And you just said it's a 50-50 every time they play.
Okay, let me put it this way. They play 3 times. I'm putting my money on the system.
Okay, but what if they play 10, Brian? You said 5-5.
Okay, well, we all know I'm a
I take it back.
So I'm bad at math. So
do you think it's the cockiness of their team?
I think I'm not sold on JTE, which is weird.
He is one of the greatest.
I know. I know.
Do you know that the 5-pointer was his? That he made that call.
I believe. I know.
You can hear it in the audio.
I know. I don't know.
I hope.
I get it because I kind of feel like the longer someone.
I'm more confident in Paul than JTE right now.
I feel like the longer someone.
Adam Witt, I hope you're watching.
What were you saying, Molly?
I'll just be
heated. This is getting heated. I was going to say the longer someone is involved in the Schmoedown, the less I just feel like the less that they are invested in it. So JTE has been in it for so long that
The very beginning.
Yeah. And so I don't know. There's something about it makes me think that like eventually it just wears down on people and like they can't make it a priority in their lives anymore to like stay on top of movie trivia. But he's been in it for so long and he's still killing it.
I mean, he played a number one contenders match last year, and he also beat Adam Collins at one point in singles last year.
And I do think he has a lot of fun with it still, believe it or not. I do think he still is having a good time with it.
Especially in his new uniform, which is just
his new little outfit.
And do you see the dancing he was doing? Just like also the post interview at the very end with Jen where he was just staring off was hilarious. It was great. Okay, so and I want to bring this up because this is actually a really good point by Gordon here. We do know that Danger Zone has an automatic number one contenders match.
Gross.
So it could be possible that these two teams play and the winner actually plays Danger Zone for the number one contender.
I wouldn't hate that.
And I'm just curious what the King Arthur is looming. I feel like they're looming. Like it's. I feel like it's coming.
I feel like they would probably have an automatic number one contender because they lost in the championship at Spectacular.
Would that make it an automatic?
I don't know if it'd be automatic, but out of all the new teams, I would give it to them over the new team.
I mean, if they're coming back, we haven't heard.
That's true.
Squat.
We don't know what Griffey Noobs is doing. Obviously, King Khan is running around in our chat, so
Mr. the King.
Well, that's not technically his name. Jill just named him that.
And he cherishes it. He at least he hasn't told me to stop calling.
Hey, I love the King. He's the only one out of all the Schmoedown people who have a POV sticker on their whiteboard.
Damn right.
Just saying.
Come on, everyone else, get it together.
There we go, Con. There we go. Okay, so real quick though, those seem like if we're keeping King Arthur out of it, those seem like the three big teams: Danger Zone, Coast to Coast, and the Movement.
Yeah,
who does everyone like? Do we still like Coast to Coast? Do we still like Danger Zone? What?
I mean, if we're going based off of wins right now, I would have to take the system out of it. But I mean, Coast to Coast is.
Can I say I am loving heel Dan Murrell though?
I do love me a heel Dan.
He's cracking me up.
Brian Ward, we don't like you right now. Just DM us, Brian. Just DM.
I would have to lean towards Coast to Coast.
I mean, it's hard to not pick against them, right? It's Paul Oyama and Adam Collins.
It's my broken
very uncoordinated Adam Collins on Sweat.
My biggest thing is in the off season, other than Dan becoming a heel, what changed from last season? Did they
for Danger Zone?
Yeah. Did they get like super better in the off season?
I mean, they weren't bad last year.
No, but I mean, like, if I'm putting up last season's Danger Zone versus a current Coast to Coast, Coast to Coast would wash them off the board.
I don't know if I believe that, man.
I don't think so either.
I'm throwing hot takes out today.
You're just all over the place.
Like
that White Claw.
It's that White Claw.
The two sips of it that I had, tangerine was disgusting.
I don't know. It's still Dan Murrell and Ben Bateman. Like you can't. And Paul and Adam didn't have the best of years last year. Like Paul won
comparing last year's Paul and Adam.
But you're comparing Dan and Ben from last year
because they're continuing. So you can't. You have to start clean with Shazam every year.
Well, Shazam's not in the conversation right now.
You were saying earlier how there's only a handful of leftover teams: Danger Zone, Shazam, and Corruption.
I was comparing how each of them played last year. I wasn't comparing them as teams. I was saying Dan and Ben both had decent years last year. Paul and Adam probably had least decent years out of the four of them. And So I think saying that Danger Zone, like that Coast to Coast would wipe them, that's ridiculous.
I mean, we saw some
ridiculous.
We saw some Danger Zone ones that were not good.
But not being wiped.
Not TKO.
I'm not saying they're going to TKO. I'm not saying TKO. TKOs are like rare in the few. I don't know.
Brian's just being sassy.
I am.
He had a White Claw.
I get it. Like I
White Claw.
I would give Coast to Coast like the smallest edge above Danger Zone, but I think they're pretty evenly matched.
I think so too. I'd see for me, Danger Zone and Coast to Coast would be if they play 10 matches, it would be 50-50.
I mean, it is a quadruple belt match.
Yeah.
Have we had
former singles champions?
Well, you also got to think of it this way. Ben Bateman crushed Paul, and then you had Adam and Dan's two matches? Was it just two? Their title matches? They played twice, right? I think it was twice.
I don't remember.
All I'm saying is that they paired up against each other.
Those four, everyone beats everyone.
And then Adam and Dan have like this thing against each other. It's almost like a great pairing of players up against one another. Mm-hmm. They all have history with each other.
Yeah. It's going to be good. Either way.
Paul's the only one out of the four to beat Marisol.
I mean, it was Marisol's like second match ever, but yes.
Marisol has been greatness since day one.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting if it, and I assume when that happens.
Yeah, I mean it's more of an if Coast to Coast makes it out of the movement, if they do play the movement. Watch the movement just sweep under everybody's rug. Just
Okay, let me ask you this. The movement plays Coast to Coast. Who are you picking?
Coast to Coast.
I would probably pick Coast to Coast. Yeah.
Molly? Same?
Yeah, Coast to Coast.
Okay, the movement plays Danger Zone. Who are you picking?
It would depend on how I would see Coast to Coast play.
Yeah.
I can't choose right
now.
now.
Do I want to win? Coast to Coast.
Yeah, I would want. I'm picking against Dan and Ben all year long, but it would honestly depend on how would Coast to Coast play in that match against the movement. Because that would be in my opinion, that'd be the toughest team they faced so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair.
Brian,
Brian's
just stirring the pot.
I'm curious. Yeah. I'm just curious if we're going to see Danger Zone before that. Are they going to jump straight into number one contenders match? Like
they might.
I don't know.
I mean,
like who else could they play at this point? Like
they have seniority, but like I don't know how long they can play that card.
Yeah, and we have to see them sooner. I would imagine that there's going to be a team's title match at Collision, which is usually in early July. So a month away. We got to see them soon, right? Like if all this is kind of come together before Collision.
Mm-hmm.
So
and if that happens and they underperform, it's going to be really hard for them to get people to root for them in the same way that we're talking about right now. Like, are they some of the best
they
of the
do.
best?
Andy is correct. They do have an automatic number one contender match because Kaiser set that one up.
Yes, but I was saying I'm curious if they're going to take a warm-up match before is what I was saying.
Knowing them, nah. They're going right for number one contender.
That's more what I was asking. I knew that they had one, but I was curious if they would like.
I would have said yes had Bateman not have a singles match.
But we haven't seen Dan at all this year. I guess the free for all.
It's Dan.
So it's and he played as
Dan shows up.
We saw Jeff.
Oh, he played as Jeff. Yeah, he played as Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
We have seen Dan. Never mind. We have seen them. Never mind. We've seen Danger Zone this year. That question's out the window. Okay, let's get to the last part of the show here. Brian Nussbaum said it. We're going to talk about Kalinowski, Bateman 2, but
sorry. Harrison, don't tease that. Jill will not be able to handle that right now. Marisol and Chance.
Maybe one day. Let's talk about this final cutscene. Because Brian Nussbaum was talking about cringy earlier. This was kind of cringe at point.
This was my cringe scene.
I loved it. I was like, get him, Mike. Get him.
Well, yes, that point, scenes, but like, but the moment before where Ben Bateman was trying to hit on Shannon, I'm just like, oh no.
That was.
Like no.
I
In
mean,
front
that
of
is
like
a
Peyton Christian and
Bateman.
everything. Like,
Yeah, that is a Bateman heel character
Sean.
thing to do, but because we all kind of know them, we're like, oh, interesting.
I thought he was just gonna stop at saying, "Oh, Shannon, you've been looking good lately," and then he just kept going. I'm like, no.
Pull it back. Pull it back.
Just stop talking.
I'm surprised Shannon didn't jump across the table and give him a little smack.
Yeah.
Shannon of last season would have. She would have thrown her crown right at him, just like Ninja Star style. Just whack.
She was like, meet me outside in the parking lot.
Yeah.
I'd be more scared to fight Shannon than Mike.
Me too.
Shannon's lower to the ground. She'll get you in the tender spots.
Get you the
She's
tender
from
bits.
Texas.
Well, I mean, thoughts on the contract discussion scene outside of the fighting itself. I mean, I guess that is kind of the scene, but you know,
We need
just
a
overall.
We need a contract for a match that we already know is happening. What's in the contract? Is it any different than any of the other singles matches? Is this a cage match? Why do we need a contract?
I mean, maybe every match has a contract, but we just don't see it.
After each round, they have to sock and bop her.
Because usually
worth an extra point.
Usually a contract is used for like a special kind of match where it's like a cage match or like a tables, ladders, and chairs or like, so are we beating each other over the head with the table? Like, why do we need a contract for it?
I don't think Bateman can handle any more chairs or tables.
Well, it was said in the scene, it was said that the winner of this goes on to play Marisol in a number one contenders match.
So it's a number one contenders match? Okay.
No, not this one.
Oh.
They'd be going on to play a number one contenders match.
So it's a match.
So it's a match.
So it's a match.
So it's a number two
stipulation
contenders match. It's a number two contender match.
I don't know. Odd. Like, I think they could have just had them like running into each other in the parking lot and talking about it. Like,
maybe the stipulation is that neither of them can wear sunglasses.
It's not gonna
Well,
happen.
Mike hasn't been wearing them.
I know. I was being
because he's not a heel anymore, so he doesn't wear the sunglasses.
Maybe they knew a physical altercation was a possibility, and so that's why the
Sean
contract
is correcting
thing.
me in the chat. I'm sorry.
I'll go ahead.
Signing.
The signing of the contract has been a tradition of on a lot of big matches, especially when there's a guarantee for something after, i.e., playing Marisol.
I
Also,
read that
it's just
very
like
majestically, by the way. The signing of the contract has been a tradition.
It feeds into the heel character for them to have like a contractual meeting, you know, like, okay, you're special, whatever, here, sign this piece of paper.
Here's papers. They were stapled.
In my imagination, it was like the script of what they needed to do. All right, so it's Mike jump at the end of the
I would have loved to have seen a zoom into the contract and see what it said.
Bateman hit on Shannon.
Yeah.
I mean, I half expected Mike to sign with a crayon.
Jesus.
And I'm the sassy one. My Lord. I'm surprised. I will say I'm surprised Kate didn't say much more than she did.
Right?
Kate really didn't do anything.
I don't think Kate really... Did Kate even say a word?
I don't think she did anything. She didn't really do anything.
No. That's a first.
She doesn't have to.
No.
Not with those two.
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, going on to the match, because it's going to be this week's match, who we picking? Who we got? Ben Bateman, Mike Kalinowski. Who we got?
When was the last time Mike studied for singles?
Yes, Jared, you are correct. Molly gives no Fs.
Nope.
Never does. Never
True.
does. Who do I want to win?
Jill, it's who are you picking? Who is your pick to win?
Bateman.
Mine's Bateman too.
I'm going to say Mike.
I think Bateman's going to come out swinging. I really do.
I think because Mike's been so focused in IG lately. Like, I don't know how much he's been studying in singles. I know he is taking a break from IG to focus on other stuff. So maybe maybe that will. But if I had to put money on it, I'd pick Bateman. Chuck is being corruption. It's the end of the world.
It would be cool to see Mike get there because the singles belt has always been the one that he can never get to.
Yeah.
He's tried there so many times, but he's never been able to get there. But yeah, I'm with Jill on this one.
It's also Bateman's birthday today. Happy birthday, Ben.
Oh,
happy birthday.
I think I'm going with Mike as well.
Yeah.
I love crayons.
I love crayons. Next one is a corruption household, but if I have to put money down on it.
Yeah, Jake makes us put money down when we're picking our picks.
Yeah, we have a little squares going around each match.
We should start like a draft kings for
No.
That would. Oh my God, are you kidding me?
No.
We'd make so many people go into debt.
I know. It's online betting.
It's betting. Yeah, it's like sports betting, essentially.
Yeah. I was kidding. I don't condemn that.
A lot of people are going Mike in the chat. There's a lot of people.
I'm going to say I'm actually surprised at the amount of mics.
Well, like it's what Chuck said. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. I think more people hate Bateman than they do Kalinowski.
I despise Bateman this year for sure.
Plus, Mike just lost the IG belt. Feel kind of bad for him.
That is true. That is true.
And Corruption's on a very bad losing streak so far.
Yeah.
This year, so very hard.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That is a great answer. That is a great answer.
I'm the same. I root for Bateman in life, not in the Schmoedown. Although, like again, money is on the table, but
yeah, that is a great answer.
Not in the Schmoedown.
I love the simplicity of Gong Mike.
Like I said, there is a difference between Ben and the boss Bateman.
Yes. Of course.
Yeah, the boss can.
Ben Bateman is about to go on tour, right?
He is about to go on tour.
I'm going to try to make it to that show because I think he is going to Atlanta.
Tickets, depending on when it is. Because he is a very good performer. And I
I'll give him that.
The other day.
All right. Well, I think that covers everything for today, everybody.
Woo.
Not a super long show, but we covered everything that's currently happening in the Schmoedown. We'll be back next week for next week's FNT, which will be Kalinowski Bateman. We'll be talking about that. For our patrons, the Q&A was shot before this, so it'll be coming out probably Wednesday. So I have time to upload it, edit, and everything. And then we're working hard on both the watch-alongs and the trivia. And we said we're doing a double dosage of both, because we missed May because of celebration. And Molly gets to choose one of each because she missed her birthday month. So Molly's working hard on trivia and the watch along. So look out for those. We'll have more information on that soon. And then we'll just do some quick plugs before we get out of here. Jill, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, Jilly Marie, 2 Y's, 2 E's on Twitter and Instagram. And happy Pride.
Woohoo!
Woo!
And Brian?
Bvalsino on Twitter and Instagram. Apocalypse Movies with Jake. I don't know what we're talking about.
Probably just more Top Gun.
Perfect. So, yeah.
And Molly?
At Molly Damon on Twitter, Molly Mander on Instagram. You can find me over on Star Wars Explained, talking about mostly Obi-Wan these days. And then if you're in Orlando, you can go to GCX this weekend, and we'll be doing Star Wars and Scotch down there with our buddies Kevin and Tim.
I'm so jealous. Jealous.
We know Tim through we met him through an EA event for something Battlefront related, I'm sure. But he's got a really cool Star Wars podcast. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
Did I see Mark Thompson's on it too?
He is.
Yeah.
Which is so cool. I keep forgetting that I'm going to be on a panel with Mark Thompson, and I don't know how to handle myself anymore.
Brian, I need you to do me a favor real quick.
Yes.
I need you to tell your mom to stop doing dishes real quick.
Oh, okay. Mom!
Mom, where's the meatloaf?
Where's the meatloaf?
Mom, meatloaf!
We can hear you doing dishes.
Oh my God.
Jake told me to tell you.
Mom, meatloaf! Mom, where's the meatloaf?
I'm totally kidding. You better tell her that I'm joking. By the way,
No,
Tell her that
she's-
you'll do the
She's
dishes.
crying
Ryan.
now.
Oh
She's
god.
crying now.
Oh god. All right, real quick. One last super chat's coming from Thero. Thank you. Obi-Wan equals Bateman, and Miss Marvel equals Mike on Tuesday night.
Oh well, then Obi-Wan might win.
Yeah, I mean Obi-Wan would probably win that fight 10 times out of 10. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll
I mean,
see.
until we see Miss Marvel, I'll pick Obi-Wan, but it could change. It could change. Curtis, yeah, facts. You can find me at Qui-Gon Jake 2N because someone else took it before I did. Schmoedown POV on Twitter. Patrons, check out all the updates that are coming your way. Q&A, everything. I know that Harrison asked if I'm looking down the entire Q&A. Unfortunately, I was not there, and there's more updates on why I was not there. So you'll hear that on the Q&A. But we'll be back next week for next week's show on FNT. Patrons, a lot of cool things coming your way. As always, thank you guys for everything, being in the chat, talking along, and we hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Bye, guys.